Okay, let's do a test here. Let's go back out of this. I'm doing number 20 in my T8SG Plus version 2. JHA is for J&H Aerospace, J&H Aerospace. Discus launch glider, which is a Carbonette glider. And I want to do some modifications to this. So we first get to the transmitter menu. Normally you would come up here, you'd have model menu, and go down one here, the transmitter menu, and then configuration. And what I've done is set the backlight and the contrast so you can see it better here by setting the backlight to 2 and the contrast to 6, just for ease of viewing this on the video here. All right, let's get out of that. And what we want to do here is to configure this thing so that on this switch, which is D, we will have one set of curves and so forth for launching the thing. In the center, we'll have the brief drop of the elevator so that it noses over, like you want to do on a discus launch glider. And then on the bottom will be the flight condition that we like to have. The advantage is being on D here on this side, I'm usually holding this in one hand, and of course the model is in my other hand over here somewhere. And so I can have my finger here ready to launch, throw the model up, and then just flip this down to there, and it will go through the center position to flip the model over to flatten it out and go into the correct mode for when I want to fly the glider normally. And then by that time I'll have been able to reach over and get back onto the stick here. So that's the concept of what I'm trying to do. So we're going to set up on this switch flight conditions for each of those situations. So we'll go here, we'll go up by hitting this, and we'll hit this to go to the model setup, and then we'll go down to go to mixer, and then we'll enter that. And I've got this set up for to take the normal rudder and put it on the elevator. And that's something I did because I wanted to get everything over on this stick. So I set it up to put this stick, this is the elevator, and this is the rudder. And that's what's going on there. So elevator is on this column, and we'll go down one more to complex, because that's the kind of thing we want to use for this particular thing. We have the switch up here. We'll hit enter. That gives us this. We set up 3 mixers, which you can use using the buttons here. Whoops, what did I do there? Complex. Oh, okay. Highlight the 3. I can go to 4, I can go 3, I can go 2, whatever. We're going to use 3 different positions on this switch. So I'll leave it in the center at the moment. And I'll show you why in a second here. I'll go to page 1. So page 1 is the first setup that I want to do. I could go to page 2 or page 3, but we'll put it on page 1. Go to the next one down. The switch says none now, and I'm going to switch it to 0, D0. Switch D, 0 position. All right, and if I wanted, I could make it 1 or 2. Whatever you want it to be, you set up on the switch by getting on this particular point, and then just flipping the switch to the switch position you want. Then I'll go down. We're not going to replace anything. The source is the elevator. Expo, I've set it up for 20. I select that here on the enter thing. It's symmetric, and I'll go down one, value of 20. I could make that 30 or 40 or whatever you want. You can see it change there. I like about 20, so I'll leave that alone. And then I'll go down. You notice it goes back up to here. So what we want to do is I need to save that before anything else. So we go down and hit it again on the down button and hit save and the enter button. All right, so now we can go back here and we're on D0, elevator, Expo 20, and we can set the scale. I have problems with the rudder running into the elevator and vice versa, so I have set the scale to 90 to prevent that. You can adjust this up or down using the arrows here. I have no offset on that first position here. That's because I'm tossing the plane up. I want it zeroed out. And I have it set up so I can trim it. The other option is by clicking this, I can have no trim, or I can have trim. If I have trim, then this will affect the elevator. If I have no trim, no matter what I'm doing here, it will be set up the way I've set it up on this particular channel, or page, I should say. So there's page 1, and you get the general drift of what I'm doing there. I'm sure by now. And again, we get to save and save that whole thing. So now all of those have been entered into this position for the elevator. Now, if I want to do another position here, like the center position, let's go back to complex. Let's go down again to 3 and then go to page 2. Now we'll set up the second position, which is page 2. Switch D1. D1 is what we want. So I could put it on D0, but we're going to put it on D1 because we've already done D0. You see what I'm doing there. All right. Go down here. Again, it's still elevator. Don't need any expo on that in reality. So I'll click on expo, symmetric again. Value is 20. We'll put that at 0 because we're just trying to do a little bit of a down elevator to flip the model over to a level flight. So a value of 0 on the thing here is appropriate. Then go down and down again to save and save that. All right, now we can go down through here again. Expo 0, so we did get it saved. Scale is 90, we'll leave it there. Offset is 0, yeah, we'll leave that there because we're, well actually, no, we want to set the offset. In this case, we want a positive offset because the channel happens to be inverted. So we'll use the right arrow here and go up to, let's say about 10. Again, you want to, we don't want to trim that, so we'll also change that to no trim. Then we'll go down again and save, and then hit the enter. So now that position, center position, is set up. Okay, let's go back into here. We'll go to page 3. All right. D2, which is down here. Expo of 20, yeah, that's what I usually fly with. This is my flying position. Scale again is 90 to prevent hitting the elevator against the rudder. The offset in this case wants to be a negative, So I'll go left here. And we'll make that about 12, I think, was what I decided was optimum. And then go down, down. Oh, and we want the trim available on that, which is this, of course. Yeah, so we'll just keep going to save that. Now we can go back to complex and go back through this. $90, $12, trim. Okay, so that's all saved. So now it's all set up. So let's see what we actually got out of that deal. We'll use the back arrow here. We'll go to transmitter menu. We'll go to channel monitor. Let's see what these positions do. Here's our channel. So when it's in that position, it's zeroed out. You see this is right in the zero here. In this position, it's down. In this position, it's up, which is what we want to do. So when I launch, I want to go straight up. Then at the top, I want to go to down. And then I want to go to the flying position, which gives me just slight up elevator, which I've determined by experimenting. And so if I switch from 0 to position 2 here, or 3, the third position, you'll see that goes through all three. So you'll get a brief down elevator to flatten the curve, and then it'll go into up elevator for flying, and also the correct curve for flying the expo, in other words, of 20. So there you go. So that's how I set up that switch. Now when I launch, all I have to do is have this in the up position. When I launch with my right hand, as soon as it leaves, as soon as it reaches near the peak, I just flip down to there, and it automatically flattens out the curve and then goes into the flying position. And then by that time, I'll be able to get my hand over here to deal with guiding the airplane where I want it to go. Let's look at the final results. I'm in position number 0, or the first position. And you notice that the rudder is, not the rudder, the elevator is straight. If I click this to the center position, you see it goes down slightly. And you'll notice the rudder is also moving slightly. It's actually going to straight in the first position here. And the rudder is slightly to the left to compensate for the throw sidearm by my right hand. And then it goes to straight here and straight here. And you notice that the elevator in position 3, or D2 position, 0 to 2 is 3. Anyway, sorry about that. It's digital, guys. But anyway, so I got slightly up elevator to compensate for slightly nose-heavy performance of this model. And it now is set up for me to have good control on the regular rudder and elevator here. So I would go like this. I'd toss with my right hand and go like that, and it would end up that way, and then I'd be able to come over here and control the model as required.